like, man, this is deep. Like, wow, I didn't know how to accept it. I didn't know how to receive it, right? And dude said verbatim, I know he did it. I looked at the older dude and my heart was broke. Cause I'm like, bruh, I know you just ain't say you know he did it, right? Like, what? You know he did it. So I'm like, hold on. I'm like, you know me. Y'all know me. Big mouth ass me. Yo, OG, how, how, how you know? How you know that? Like, you he's like, cause I used to work with him. I said, oh shit, you literally seen him do that before? You watched him do it? He was like, no, I ain't watched him do it. I'm just saying I used to work with him, so I know the dude. I know him. He did it. And I looked at this man, and for the first time, I felt disgusted by him. And I'm like, yo, bro, I don't know what it is, but something about my spirit is telling me your energy is ugly right now, dude. Like, I don't know. I can't trust you, bro. So I just said, man, well, let me tell you something. And I was being facetious. So listen to how I'm saying this. Cause I know how people gonna fucking flip the script. I was being facetious, but because I was angry, I looked at the old man and I said, let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck if he did do it. I'm sticking with my people. Now, I was being facetious when I said that because, of course, I do give a fuck if he did some weird ass shit like that. But I was being as adverse as he was with the information that he didn't even have. I just wanted to be as adverse as he was being to him as he was being to Bill in that matter because I just didn't think it was fair. And I'm the person that likes to fight for people. So I'm the person that's like, oh yeah, you slap my man, I'm a body slam you, nigga. That's how I feel. So I'm right here. Chill out. So you know, hold on, chill. I'm on the call, bro. Just I'm following you. Go ahead. Yeah, so I basically was like, look, man, I'm sticking with my people, man. And I'm sick of us not sticking with each other. I'm sick of this shit, man. And I'm sick of it, man. It really disgusts me that we do this to one another. And I told this to the OG, man. And I was like, man, yeah, man. So, he didn't really say much after that, whatever they was talking. And I left out the barbershop, and years later, Bill Cosby walks out there with not one charge. Not one. And then other judges talked about how egregious it was for people to even think that those charges would stick because they never had a case. And he don't even know why they allowed the media to propagate and blow it out of proportion. It was strictly a media storm. That's all it was. It never was a case. It was a media storm. I can't wait to see this man again, just so I could look him in his face, man. You know. And again, imagine being a black man. There's no defense for you. Your own people ain't even gonna crowd around you and protect you. Even when the white man is guilty, his people still crowd around him and protect him. So I just felt like we needed some balance. And again, to now, we just should be more careful with the way we project. That's how I feel about this shit. And it ain't cause, Polite, my nigga, because at the end of the day, I don't know Bill Cosby from a can of paint. And I stuck up for him more vocally than I've stuck up for Polite. I stuck up for him. I actually got to even know R. Kelly and just be around him. And when the allegations came out against him, it was just weird. It was like, man, you know what I'm saying? He did some things that he faced already. And then people took a lot of other shit and contrived it with those things. And here this man is, nobody's making a compelling argument about how he was raped as a child and how there's mental illness is a factor here.
I think
So yeah, go ahead, bro.
I appreciate it. I think unless Polite was raped, that classification doesn't happen to him. I agree with you wholeheartedly that black men are definitely victims of all manner of evil. But the last time I looked at the numbers, one in every four black women were also molested in some way, shape, or form. So both of our children, I had the electrical who destroyed our children. So I think both sides of the spectrum have to always be looked at. And so we have, just like we have the cases of people that are falsely accused, we also have tons of cases that they're not. Religious leaders, primarily, like the pastors and stuff like that, they straight victimize young black boys and black women and young black girls rather, and use their influence, their charismatic, the way that they talk,
Can't really
to
hear
use
you,
all of
Cap.
that.
Cap, we can't really hear
I'm
you,
sorry.
bro.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. Let me just turn my Bluetooth off. I apologize for that. Give me 1 second. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, I appreciate it. So like we become victimized, and I think, and to the subject of the room about Polite Speak Live about his allegations, they're just not nothing that he said this evening that we're supposed to just take it and run with it. Everything that you said about black men, I totally agree with you 100%. But we cannot act like black men also don't predatorize young black girls and use their influence of money, flash, XYZ to also take advantage of the same young black women. So we have to be objective. We can't have a narrative that makes a person guilty or innocent. And like I said, I don't think Polite or the woman is innocent because if the story is true, whether he touched her, let's say if he didn't touch her, but then he took her to the party or tried to take her to a party and got her drugs or something like that, even that shit is reprehensible to take somebody's daughter and do that to him because you're putting him in danger. So there was nothing that Polite said tonight that made me change my opinion either way. I'm a person that's more objective in judgment, just sticking solely with him. If we take the R. Kelly situation, R. Kelly was molested at 8 year old, I believe it was by women at the time. So we do have instances of young black boys doing it. How many girls do we have? I think we have more girls than boys that
Yeah.
get touched, that get touched, get molested. I guarantee you the women that are in this room have been touched or groped inappropriately at some point in life by a man that they did not want that affection from. But they gave it to him anyway because girls are treated like trash. So then women that you see on the stripper poles and women that you see promiscuous, having threesomes and running wild, if you go into their background, you'll see that some man molested them. Some cousin was playing kiss 'em all, get a girl, whatever games they was playing to
Right.
take advantage of our little girls. So it's almost like two sides of the spectrum. So Polite is an intelligent man from what he says. So I can't put him in the same classification as R. Kelly. I can't put him in the same classification as he himself. The one thing he said in there was that he was with one of his homeboys that got shot. He lost his mom, so he had a rough life, and he was able to turn it around. And he's super duper intelligent. Talks about how he doesn't have to have the kids. He was able to raise his kids without going through the hospital and stuff like that. He's a super intelligent being. With that said, he could not have done it. He might be too smart to do it, or he could be so smart that we would believe he wouldn't do it because that's what predators do. Eddie, we have plenty of examples of prominent figures using their influence, for me, R. Kelly included, because he may not have raped every girl, but everybody's seen that video where he was peeing on that little girl. I know I've seen it. So everybody's seen him peeing on that little girl, and ain't nobody gonna tell me that shit is okay. I'm sorry, nobody's gonna convince me. Where if you want to say he messed up in the head, that's one thing, but being messed up in the head does not justify your wickedness. It does not. We should have to correct it, but it does not justify it. So we got to be extremely careful in moments like these. You have to have your eyes open, pay attention to everything that we see, and don't let the past control how we run our future on both sides. Because the same way we could bring up people that are innocent, we could bring up tons of people that are guilty. I see it all the time in this walk, and it's a horrible thing to investigate. One of the most horrible things to investigate is child molestation. It's horrible because when you start seeing the numbers, you start seeing the girls, and you start seeing the boys, You start seeing how many times they was molested, and it's usually by someone close. It's always 9 times out of 10. It's never a stranger. It's always an uncle or auntie or a cousin or a father or a mother or a pastor or somebody that they let get close to him. You women and you men that let just your random girlfriend or boyfriend just come around and be around your kids, you got to be extremely careful with that. And that's how it happens. So we only got two versions of this story. One story is um, they went to the hotel. Excuse me, Polight was taking her, separating her from the mother because they had some issue taking her to a hotel. End up that way. Another version is the mother was asleep and Polight. She went downstairs with Polight to get something to eat, and it ended up happening. So it's too foggy of an information to know exactly how the story is. But that DNA evidence, you can't get around that. Can't get around DNA evidence, and that's super duper strong. And the difference with that is not like 30 years ago with Bill Cosby, where that information is like 30 years ago, so you don't know where that's coming from. This information is relevant. It's right here. It's right now. I think it happened in February. They got the D. They had him come in with the DNA or asked him about it in June. He went in August or whatever. He turned himself in. That's what we know for sure. So that DNA evidence, I said, humdinger. And that's all we know right now. So he deserves every bit of flack he gets for the irresponsible act that he has taken. Whether he didn't have to touch the girl, but what I hope everybody would take from this is everybody is not a leader. They can be smart, like the brother with the stocks, and sometimes I think I text him a couple of times even about the whole stocks thing. So he can be smart and stuff like that, but everybody is not a leader and who we should look up to, and anybody can have a flaw. If we think they're infallible, it blinds you from being able to give righteous judgment on the left or the right hand side. Because the flip side of this, like I said earlier, then that means the mother, somebody got to come down on that mother. That's what I said. Like I cannot make them innocent. I can only make that child innocent. I can't make the mother innocent. Can't make Polight innocent. Now, if there's something that like, let's say for the sake of argument, Polight didn't do nothing. It's just a woman scorn. Then he can kind of be innocent in that way. But if he did anything to mislead her or do it, then he's not innocent. If the mother didn't do nothing but fall asleep, like she say, and Polight took her and did whatever he did, then she can actually be innocent. But until we find out, the only innocent person
Hold
in this
on. They
whole
said
ordeal.
what? They said what?
Yeah, there's two versions of the
No, but
story.
what? But it's only one. Only one on the
One in the
report
police
though.
report, right? Only one
The
on the
one on the
police report,
report.
right?
The one on the report said that he asked her permission to take
Right, to take her to
the
an
girl,
after
and
party,
she granted the
and
permission.
she granted.
Come
Right.
on,
So
man.
even
So that none of that sounds right from the beginning. If you
I
think
agree with
about it,
you.
so
That's why
yeah,
I said none of. Yeah, that's why I said none of them are innocent. Like I ain't giving the
yeah, but
mother or
but that's what I'm saying though. That's only coming from them. That's not coming from Polite. That if that's a police report, that's what the mother said, man. So that's only one side.
mm,
You get what I'm saying? That a police report doesn't mean it's the truth. A
I never
police
said it
report
was.
means this is what somebody told us upon arrival. So we're going to take a report. So the mother, first of all, the mother told a story that don't make no sense because it makes her look fucking crazy.
It makes her look totally crazy.
Right.
The
So
only
that
thing
don't
that
mean
ain't
that don't mean Polite did none of that.
right. The only thing that ain't crazy is that DNA evidence. That's the only thing that ain't crazy.
Shit.
Because if that DNA evidence
If he
comes
was
down,
having sex, if he was having sex with her, if he was having sex with the mother, it's not like the police came and got the girl from the. They took her. The mother took her to the police. They took her to the. Excuse me. To yeah. They took her to the police. So that mother had time to
and you
contaminate.
notice,
Yeah. That's what the report said. It
no,
said
what you
I read the whole
right.
docket. I
Mm-hmm.
read the whole docket. Miami. You can go look it up.
Right, I
Miami.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and upon that they went to the forensics um from the forensics from there and took the samples, and that's why Play had to go into Miami and give his DNA. So
Right.
him and the mother was they was getting busy. So again, again, the way the story is from now, just from what's from one side that we know, and this is from the mother. the mother has put spaces and gaps in the story that are contradictory to her integrity for what she wants us to believe her integrity is. Because if your integrity was anything like you want us to believe, then why are you telling people he asked for your permission to take your daughter and you granted it for a nightclub if she's 14?
Yeah,
That
that's
makes
both of them though.
that,
But
but
see
that's what I'm
now, see,
saying.
I
But
think
that doesn't mean Polight did that. That's what I'm saying. She's saying that, but that's her story. That doesn't mean none of that shit took place. It's just her story. Again, the little girl was there with her when she called the police and made this story. So that's what I'm saying. We only have heard one side of the story, and that's what has to be filed. Because just like if she'd have said, Polight kicked down my door, punched me in the face 3 times, and picked me up and slammed me through a glass table, then that's what it would have been in the report. And that's what they would have had to bring him in for, regardless. And that's what it would have read. So that's why I'm saying none of that shit we don't even know yet. So if you know how that shit works, we don't even know yet. That's just the story so
I
far.
do know, right? I do know how it works. That's why I said that DNA. And then like I've gotten other reports that the mother had a different story than what's in the police report. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. As
Yeah, I
But
far as
got.
the
that's what I'm
mother,
saying. How did the police report change? That's what I'm saying. See, if the mother had a different story, she's the one that gave the police report. So now she
mm-hmm.
got two stories.
However you
Well,
look at it, again, yeah.
I'm just
Somebody
saying.
want
I'm
to say
only
something?
looking at it from the way it could be looked at.
the report I read was that the mom and the daughter had a fight. Right? I don't know which report you read. The one I read, it says the mom and the daughter had a fight. He stepped in to kind of like give them some space. Took the girl. He took the daughter to give him some space from the mom. Right? And then he was going to take her to the after party. The after party wasn't going down. They went to a hotel. When they went to a hotel, he gave her drinks or whatever. And then the girl woke up and he was putting her hand on her throat, trying to get her to throw something up or throw up. Took her back to the crib, and this was the report I read. And then the mom was like, "What did you do with her? Her mouth was swole. The daughter's mouth was swole." And Polite begged her and was like, "Yo, don't call the cops or whatever. Don't call the cops or whatever." And she ended up taking him to the police station, and then they did the DNA thing. So I don't know which report
So,
y'all read,
hey,
but that's
so
the one
Los,
we
is
pulled
your
last
belief
night.
is your mother lying? Is the mother lying?
That's the report we read.
No,
Like,
I
that
don't.
was that
I
was on the
don't.
thing.
I don't have a belief.
Opinion?
Everybody
You
know
don't have a
me.
belief? Yeah,
No,
right.
I don't have a belief. But what I would say is
Perfect.
this: that mother gave one of the shakiest stories I've ever heard. The story is so fucking shaky that it's like I'm almost expecting some other shit to slap us across the face soon. That story, bro, that story is a crazy fucking story. Yo,
But
just put it like this. Just put it like this. Just put it like this. I know you, but I don't know everything about you, right? Like I know you, but I don't know everything about you, right? You could have some deep, dark motherfucking secrets. However, if a motherfucker said the same thing about you, I would be like, yo, bruh, I don't know, man. Like this shit don't, it just, the story is so bizarre. I feel like the more bizarre you make a story, the more crazy it make people that have to uh to have to choose to either accept it or reject it, as if we have to. We don't have to accept or reject it. But we, in our righteousness, we try to say, like, okay, how can I assess this shit? The story is too crazy for assessment, man. That whole story is way outside of the character of Polite.
the thing
And
is
if you're
that
gonna tell me, and if you're gonna tell me after knowing this dude for 10 years and being in close proximity with him, his daughter, his family, how he moved outside of the people that just see him on the internet and make conclusions, I'm literally saying this story is way too bizarre for me to even embrace in close proximity to the brother.
but the
So,
th- I hear
so
but
that's what I'm saying. From what, bro? You obviously want to
I'm
cut me off.
oh, go, you got
You just want to cut me off. Like, wait 1 second before I'm finished, huh? So, yeah, it's like it's so bizarre. It takes me out of my own common sense It takes me out of my common sense. So anything that takes me out of my common sense, I have to question because this story don't make no common sense. This story doesn't make common sense. You would have to be on the far end of this story to completely embrace this and make this true. So either the most crazy thing that ever took place, because that's the craziest shit that could ever take place. That you realize there's no crazier shit that can ever happen in a man's life. That would be the single craziest thing ever. So that's either the single most craziest thing that this nigga has ever did in his life. He did that night at while a woman was beefing with her daughter. Like none of it makes common sense, bro. And I know the nigga not like even if the nigga was on some other shit, the nigga is not no stupid ass nigga. Like that is stupid as fuck. It's hard for me to apply that logic and common sense to somebody. Like I just can't do it. It just it don't check out for me in that way to do that. But like I said, I don't have a belief system either or. But when I just use common sense or logical consistency, that shit ain't logically consistent from the beginning, from the gate, and all this nightclub shit. I ain't never see this man in his life take no 14-year-old girl to no nightclub. I done been to 11,000 nightclubs with this dude, bruh. I ain't never seen him with nothing but grown ass fucking women. So that's a whole nother thing. It's like, how do I even fit that into? He was taking a 14-year-old to a nightclub. He has a 14-year-old daughter. Like
Well,
when like I just that's what I'm saying. I'm just my common sense rejects a lot of this shit, bro. It's just hard for me to interpret that shit like that. And I know that people just want to. People just want to. People like, people want to rock with that information. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be patient too. I'm gonna wait till that shit come out. You know what I mean? And I will tell y'all this. I called a nigga and was like, "Yo, what the fuck am I hearing, nigga?" Well, no, I actually said this verbatim. I said, "Yo, bro, why am I hearing all this crazy shit?" That's what I called him and said. I ain't called him and said, "Yo, bro, they talking about you." Yo, bro. Nah, I said, "Yo, bro, why am I hearing all this crazy ass shit, bro? What the fuck is up?" So then he told me some stuff and told me about legal this and legal that, and you know what I mean. But he definitely told me the thing that you want him to tell everybody. He said that to me. You know what I'm saying? But I can't. I'm not gonna compromise his situation. This is his situation. But
Carlos,
I guess yes,
a-
sir.
according to what you said, I mean, like, I get what you're saying. You said